Morning, traders. So we're still using the Bill Williams theory and looking at the Aussie, the South African top 40 this morning. Now, we did get a break above the previous pin bar, which was pretty much in my eyes the top of this broader range here. Now, problem is that we have created another indecision bar. So that the daily bar there is another range bar. So we had one on Friday. We've got another one now. Now, this is not a healthy signal as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so it's looking like a very tired and exhausted effort to get up to the 200 EMA on the daily. I have a strong suspicion that we're not even going to get there. Okay, the other thing that I do see, I just want to go to the 4-hour here and take this with a pinch of salt, because often when I see this kind of picture, it turns out to be opposite to what I'm thinking. So, but it's important to take cognizance of it. So, firstly, this was our original trend line. Okay, so you can see 1, 2, 3 touches, very strong trend line, 4, 5, 6. We then broke through it, came up and tested it, and we haven't managed to get above it again. So that there, together with sort of, you can go there or you can go there, gives us a wedge. Okay, so there's pretty much 3 touches on the top. If I just tidy it up there, so 3 touches, try to get through, failed, and we've carried on inside this wedge until this point where we've broken out. So that's the one way of looking at this. The other way of looking at this is to say that that has just formed a broader wedge. And if we tidy that one up there, so now we have 1, 2, 3 touches, 1, 2. So we've got 5 touches in this triangle, which is a wedge. Okay, now normally what I'm looking for inside something like this is a bit of diversions as well, which we don't have diversions on the 4-hour. What we do have though is the awesome oscillator, which has come down, started to form a new high, but kind of stagmatic at the moment. Now, this could be because of the public holiday yesterday in the US, and there's another picture on the lower time frame that I'll run through now. But before we do that, let's just make sure we're aware of what could affect the market. So the Rand dollar is 13.85, pretty flat. China is down 0.9% at the moment. Hang Seng is down, and the Nasdaq futures is down 0.7% as well. Tencent is down 1.6% and falling, and the S&P closed. So that was down yesterday in after hours trading, and it's down again after hours trading today. So that's down pretty much over 1% at the moment over the 2 days. So putting it together, I would expect us to have a pullback of sorts. Now, it depends which trend line you want to use. In my books right now, when it's this messy, I tend to ignore these diagonal trend lines because I don't trust them. Okay, whenever you've got so many tails to the top and bottom, you've got this barbed wire layout, I tend to ignore it. Okay, so that's exactly what I'm going to do, and we're going to go straight on to the 1 hour, because this is where it gives us additional information. Okay, so what we have here is a range. Okay, so that's just normal when there's no afternoon session. So you have the morning session, which started off with a nice little rally, and I think if you'd taken a long off gap close here, left yourself with a 350 point stop loss, you would have got 300, so 1-to-1 trade. But I'll show you on the half hour that the closing range strategy was actually the one, as I pointed out yesterday, was the one you wanted to take. Okay, so let's just look at the hour. Trend is up, granted, we're above the alligator, so we should be looking for longs, but I'm not looking for longs in this area. So I'm looking for longs lower down. Okay, we haven't had a decent pullback yet on this leg. So ideally, I'd like to see a decent pullback. probably into the alligator, or even a bit further, but I suspect into the alligator before another attempt at this high. Now, this breakout here, so this bottom of the range was the previous breakout, sort of. I mean, it's actually down there. Okay, so you can see there's one touch, two touches. So that was the top of the previous range, or the top of the flat top triangle, if you want to put it to that. Okay, then we have another potential setup here. So that was the original trend line. See, there's a high, there's a high. Then we broke through and we just hovered on this trend line. And the bottom trend line, I can take that, or I could take that. Okay, so again, we have another potential wedge setup. And I think I just want to do that. So that's kind of my range at the moment. So I could use these fractals here, but I think I'm rather going to use these two inside tails, because it's 1, 2, 3, almost 4 touches on that. So that's my range. So if we break to the upside, you're obviously looking at this measured move. And you can take it from the bottom of the range or up there. So if we just do this, there, okay, that would be the most logical decision to make here, because we are in an uptrend. Okay, and you can see the top zone puts us in line with the previous resistance area here. Okay, so that's the one thing. The measured move to the downside is slightly different. It's smaller, and it takes us to there, which is around in the middle of the mess. Okay, no real direction there. Okay, so get down to the half hour and I'll show you what I mean by the closing range. Okay, so that to the downside is probably going to bring, I'd say, these inside tails. Okay, so those are my two target levels. I'll read them off to you now, but let's just finish this train of thought here. So we have got pretty much 11 bars here on the half hour. Okay, 13 bars. So rule of thumb is normally anything under 20 bars, normally you continue in the direction you were going. Okay, so we're at 13 at the moment on the half hour. So kind of no man's land at the moment. The bias is to the upside, so people would be expecting a break to the upside and a continuation. But it could also be an exhaustion pattern that it actually breaks to the downside. So it's 50-50. So we're going to need to break above or below these two levels for that to happen. Okay, now the closing range, if I do this, so there's my last hour of trading. Okay, and I do that. So a break above there, that's my target area. You can see it lines up perfectly. Okay, my stop would have been below here, and the break to the upside. So I suspect more of the same today, but I do think we're going to get a gap down. So we're going to get a pretty big gap down, probably 100, 200, well, pretty big, listen to me, but probably around a 200, 250 point gap down, I think, which could put us below this range. If we do get below the range, I'd like to see a little bit of a pullback and then short it with a stop above the top of the range, aiming for the first target, which would be 47,910. Okay, if we get through 47,910, then you have this area here. Okay, you can see there's my inside tails there, over there, and that would be 47,792. That would be last line of defense before gap close, and then you're looking potentially at the gap close, which should be around there or there. These inside tails, and that would line up with the 200 EMA on the half hour. So that gives you 47,557. Okay, so break below, First target you're looking for is 47,910. Then you're looking for 47,790, and then you're looking for 47,5. Let's just say 47,560. Okay, so those are my targets to the downside. If we do break to the upside, then I'm looking for first target of 48. See, but I can't read it. So that's 48,800, and then 49,050. Okay, so 48,800 and then 49,050. Those are my two targets to the upside. Okay, so 50-50 for me at the moment. Ideally, what I want to see is something like a 12-minute close or a 15-minute close above. You can see we gapped up above the opening range, then we pulled back straight onto the alligator, and you can see there was a signal bar, a range bar, and the trade was on. Trade was on long, and your target would have been the closing range height up there. Okay, so same scenario for me at the moment. I'm looking for a break below the closing range. So let's just get all of this out. So we've got the actual range, and then we have the closing range. So the actual range is this entire thing, but you probably find that it still lines up. Okay, so that's my closing range there. So I'm looking for 12-minute close below here. First pullback, I'm in, and then I'm targeting the height of the range, and then watching what happens with price action to see if it drives further down. But I suspect until the US Open, there's probably going to be a move to the downside, and then we'll have to wait and see what happens at 4:30. Okay. So anyway, guys, that's me for today. What I actually do want to do, though, before I run away, is just pull up the Bollinger Bands here, and I want to get to the higher time frames. You see the Bollinger Bands are telling me that we've got a break, potential breaks to the upside. We're sort of riding the bands on the upside here. And if I look at the 30 minutes, I was kind of expecting a squeeze, but there isn't a squeeze. Okay, nothing really to write home about. So yeah, I think that's my take on this at the moment. 50-50 of whether we break up or down, but look to play this range break, which coincides with the closing range break. Okay. Anyway, guys, hope that helps and should give you some direction. And keep our stops tight, and I'll catch up with you later. Enjoy the day. Cheers for now.